Okay, boomer.
Down south, hood baby, bang on girls, go crazy, go crazy.
Go stupid. But you smart like an A+ student. Right now, looking for your love right now. Up down, all around, turn my stomach upside down. I found your hair tie in my car. I could only.
Welcome, everyone, back to another Boomer Council, the four most annoying people you've never met on the internet. I am X-Wing for my co-host, the Star Wars Obsession, Hawks, Holocrons, and Matt Cave. How are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah.
Cheers, yeah.
Everybody got their thing of choice?
I got a hazy IPA, man.
I got a Matt Cave special.
There you go.
Calms the senses, brings the
You
nerve to
muted.
bear.
Oh, you muted.
Hawks, you're muted again.
Boomer.
I'm
dude.
half in and out of this universe, just like my can of whatever this is.
Nice. I love how it's see-through.
Yeah, dude.
Hello, chat. What's up, everybody? Lady, hello. Dude, we got Mike Porter in here. What's going on? Leia Rose is in here. Vader Fanatic. Hello, everybody. Not going to go through all these. I love it. The chat is already
That's
arguing
what we're
about Star
bumping,
Wars.
man.
I love it.
Isn't that what we do?
I'm not ready.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about some stuff. I'm hyped because we got an article today for the Disney parks that there was a competition a while back to see who we wanted for the next legacy lightsaber for Star Wars, and we got Cal Kestis. Now, this is important to me, and I think this is worth talking about because Bob Chapek does not put merchandise out unless he knows it's going to sell for a while, right? So this could just be because we've got the upcoming game. We've got Jedi Fallen Order 2 coming out, which I'm sure is going to be announced when we get to Celebration. But I got a feeling in my giblies, this ain't no Mace Windu feeling. I got a feeling that we're going to get Moynihan back in a live action show this year.
Dude,
Yeah.
he looked sick holding that saber in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more likely that they're pushing the game first. Right. Like, I mean, it seems like if we see that, that's going to be maybe, some Bad Batch potentially if they go back to Braca for any reason. But it's definitely set up for Celebration.
Do you guys think he could run into a Kanan Jarrus in a sequel game?
No, I think if they met, they would have stuck together.
Yeah, that might have been because it would be a little bit younger Kanan, but he would have been kind of on his deal with Hera at that time.
Maybe Kanan's already in with the rebellion and Cal doesn't really want to stick around.
I don't think it seems like Cal is just hiding. Like,
Did you finish the game yet, Hawks?
I know the ending. I know they're gonna
Okay.
basically let the Force choose their paths. but
Yeah, I
he's
didn't want to
still
spoil
with,
anything for you.
No, he's still with Seer, the Night Sister Mira, and the pilot survive all the way through. The little
Greer's there.
brown-haired guy. Yeah, cool.
So
So the
one of
four
my
of
favorite
them, man.
characters in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
Hilarious, bro. He's just
All his
slob.
all
This
his
reminds
side
me of
chatter in the
my
game.
aunt. Get off of my couch!
Yeah.
What is that thing doing? What is that thing doing on my couch? Get it off of there.
Yeah, he's great. So, yeah, and that was kind of it was going to be another thing I wanted to talk about. Like, A, where does he come into the live action universe? Because that has to make sense. But B, I mean, he's kind of in a tough spot from a storytelling perspective because while they left it open to interpretation, they're like, whatever, we'll let the Force happen. He's not really going to restart the Jedi Order, and he's not going to look for younglings to restart the Jedi Order. So what's his mission at this point? It just seems like it kind of got left like whatever happens, happens. I don't know.
I think.
Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, man.
No,
I was going to say that was my one minor gripe with that game's story when they did destroy the holocron. I was like, that could have been your attempt at, your sequel. It didn't have to succeed, but try to find the younglings throughout the galaxy. That could have been a story in itself that doesn't interfere with anything else. But you're right. Like, where do we go with this? It's so open-ended now. It can literally be anything.
Right.
Well, they're on the map too. Like, that's the other part people forget. Like, they're on the map. They've been they're identified now. Vader knows.
Vader's seen your face. Yeah.
Vader knows who's alive. They know your droid. Like, there's a lot of information on you now, even though they don't really know who you are, because he doesn't recognize Cal Kestis. right? So there's a lot of open interpretation, but they're gonna be hunted. You're gonna see more Inquisitors. We're gonna see more brothers and sisters, because they are gonna be hunted. There are, I mean, look how often Kanan and Ezra ran into Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a
over and over and over again.
bro. Every planet, they're like, oh, how did they get here before us?
You would
Right?
think they were bored or something. Like
Is
there were
there-
no other Jedi in the galaxy because they were just there every single time.
Well, and like I said, I mean, they were dogs on a bone, right? There was so much reward for the Inquisitors to bring a Jedi back to Vader.
What was the reward? Did we ever get that?
Does it matter?
No.
Their lives.
No.
They're like, Vader's finally going to accept me.
Well, you know,
Fat
what
chance.
it's like how anytime any group of dark side users goes, they always have this sense that if they do exactly what their master is looking for, they're going to be rewarded with some sort of high power. But we know through the history of the Sith and everything
Time and
that
time
that's
again.
never really the case. It's like you're just going to betray each other at some point. It never goes well.
Well, but
Yeah.
like we were making the analogy to the Harry Potter reference on the dragon the other day. I feel like they're constantly being tortured when they're not hunting, right? Like they're constantly in training, they're constantly having to best one another. It's a race.
Like that.
Everything is a race.
Right.
Because you can see it even in the Inquisitors we see, like, no, this is my trophy. No, this is mine. Like, it's a competition. It's basically Vader's American Idol, right? It's his version of who can do it best and bring me heads of Jedi and sabers because you're going to lead me to Kenobi. That's all he cares about is Kenobi. That's it. He cares about no other
Do you think
Jedi.
he's still obsessed, that hardcore obsessed? Or he just wants to see the Jedi wiped out on a whole?
No, he wants
No, he
Kenobi.
wants
He knows
Kenobi.
Kenobi's
Yeah.
alive. He wants him, and he wants him bad.
Yeah, ultimately he blames him for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Padme died because of him.
Yep.
He turned her against me, right?
Yep.
Like, he's the reason I'm in this goddamn suit, right? He's the reason I didn't overthrow the Chancellor and become leader of the galaxy. Like, he is responsible for everything.
The Jedi trained me to be this, and this, and now they have me committing treason. They have me spying, doing all this espionage. Like, I didn't sign up for any of that as a kid.
Are you not seeing this? Mike, have a Sony bologna sandwich porter.
I love it.
You change your name
Here's
every
my
single
quarter.
time. I love it so
I
much.
love the
Mike,
upgrades.
welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your generous contribution to
X-Wing.
Thank you.
We could laugh every time at that.
We love you, buddy. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we get to have you here. So that's going to be interesting because I feel like, you could 100% tie in this sequel game. Could you tie in this sequel game to the Kenobi timeline? Yes, because the first Fallen Order was 5 years after Revenge, right? The sequel could be 5 years after the first game, which would put it directly in line with Kenobi.
No, that would be too far ahead because Kenobi's only like 5 or 6 years after Revenge.
I thought it was
right?
10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Is it? Oh, is it 10?
Yeah.
Luke's like nine. Luke's like
Oh
9
yeah,
or
that's
10.
right. Luke's about 10 years old in this. Okay, so yeah, absolutely, it could line
So
up.
if you did a little time jump, he's like, and it could work into, because I know, and look, this is obsession. You might want to earmuff real quick. So there's apparently, and to anybody in the chat who doesn't want to know anything about possible leaks and or spoilers for Kenobi, there's supposed to be some sort of a side story that happens kind of midway through the season where Kenobi finds this underground railroad, if you want to call it that, of getting these people who are being persecuted by the Empire kind of out and away. And I think it only makes logical sense that the person that's heading up this operation would be Cal Kestis. That's his new drive, his new purpose, and that's something that totally makes sense for a Jedi Fallen Order 2 to have him doing that.
That could work.
It's speculation.
So let's to get so Obsession can speculate a little bit. I can kind of touch on that. And in the very end, Cal, they destroy the list So do you think that the Force, he's like, let's let the Force decide. Do you think the Force could send Cal to these people anyways? Or have these people find him anyways? Like other Jedi, is this order that is, rumored that this kid's talking about?
Well,
Do they exist?
I
Are there other
really
Jedi out there?
Who put that comment up just before saying like Cal takes the route of like Kung Fu, where like the show Kung Fu, where
Oh yeah,
look at this. I love how StreamYard makes a mess of the emoji.
Yeah.
Like taking the route of the show Kung Fu, where he's just wandering around helping the helpless, like just being that guy who shows up, kind of like Ronan.
I was gonna say you're talking like a Ronin, but that we already have that character. We
But
have
why
that
not
in
have more?
Ahsoka, right? Yeah.
We didn't have more. Oh,
Why not both?
why not Cal teaming up with Ahsoka at some point? They're kind of on a similar path.
Back up
It's
for,
too much
for
for
a
me.
second. In the game, the flashback to Order 66, Cal's how old in that though? Isn't
Dude,
he
he's
younger?
Yeah, he's like 7 or something. I don't
Okay.
know.
No,
He's a
he's
little,
older than
little
that,
baby.
but he's
You think so? Like 13,
So the
maybe?
time jump in that game
like
is how long?
young teens.
I'm not good at kids. I don't know.
So he's got a 10-year time gap between his flashbacks, you think? He's like 17, 18?
Yeah, I bet you he's like 25 or so in the game.
Because wouldn't
right?
that line it right up with Kenobi timeline? I think it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's. I mean, I think he's possible. If they want to do a season 2.
Sorry. We're done.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh. Yeah.
Are you guys
I
done
tried to
messing
include
around?
him.
Yeah.
Whoa. Echo.
That's not me.
Is that me?
Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Wacko.
Oh, so I was trying to. Well, I'm glad you didn't hear any of that. I was trying to include you in a little obsession because you know the end of the game, right? And
Yep.
how they destroy all that. Do you think that the Force, anyways, could send Cal just to cross paths with these people on the list, or the people on the list are going to just find him no matter what? Like, if the Force has a way or a path for him that's already set in place, is the list important or not?
It seems like that's the reason they're after it is because they want to take all the kids, inquisitive babies basically. But it seems like if that's the last one and there's no more like that, so now it's just the will of the Force, and honestly I think that's kind of the mission's done in that regard. And now at this point it's moving forward. It's either training Nira or starting, maybe going on the offensive and starting to take down some of these, with 3 Force users. I mean, I think that would be
I think that makes more sense, doesn't
Going
it?
after
Like
Inquisitors.
instead of doing like humanitarian missions, they're going to they're striking back.
It's I mean, if they're going to do a trilogy out of this, which would be smart to do a trilogy game set,
right.
Do the second one a lot like Empire and make it a little darker, right? Make it we're on the offensive. We might lose somebody here.
We're gonna lose some people,
right? Like strap in. We're we're
Yeah.
gonna lose somebody, whether it's Nira or Seer sacrificing herself legitimately this time.
Yes, we're done. Spoilers are over.
For
We're
her
done.
for
Done.
her Padawans this time, so to speak.
He could team up with Saw Gerrera. He knows him now.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of opportunity for them to go on the offensive and make it a darker game and make everybody, because that's how Empire, the A New Hope was A New Hope. It was almost hopeful. You get into Empire, it's the more gritty, darker story, and then Jedi is the redemption arc. I think that's a good place. Maybe have Cal watch Seer get killed, and then that pushes him to a place, and then maybe you're playing as Nira trying to get him back. And there's a lot of opportunity for.
You got to stay Kestis though, right? I feel like you have to stay as Cal throughout the.
I don't see why you couldn't. I don't see why you couldn't.
I think you should.
But I think
Yeah.
I think there would be a cool mid mission to like win Cal back, because he goes on a dark rampage and you just start killing everybody, and you just do this one little side arc where you're either Seer or Nira, and you have to go and get him back and maybe fight him and disarm him, and then something along those lines would be really entertaining, because
I get what you're saying.
It just I want the Jedi to be more or this era of Jedi to be more damaged, right? I want them to be more persuasive to the dark side, and maybe even fall a little bit and get brought back, right? That's some of the arc we see in like KOTOR and some of these older stories, is that it's a tough path. Even Yoda says it. It's a tough path.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
My boy, he got his Razor Crest. Hell yeah. We've been talking all day on Twitter. He was like, bro, I don't know if I should do that. I'm like, dude, if you got one, like, go now. Do it now. Because, I mean, it was, double the price of market value if you backed it. But he got dipped over by the shipping system. HasLab problems from time to time. But I wanted to bring this back up here. Who said it? Oh, it's such a good chat. Where did it go?
Dude, chat is rocking tonight. I love it.
I know. I love seeing my people freaking, especially when they argue with each other in chat. It's my favorite. Okay. All right. So Stanley said this. Saw is too ruthless for Cal to join. And this is interesting because this plays into Kenobi. I think this plays into Andor as well. Is that Saw as a what were they calling him? Who's been reading this stuff? They're not separatists, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the group.
He's more of like a renegade, like what Mon Mothma refers to him as, a certain type of resistance fighter.
I had it in my head like 2 seconds ago, and I know the name of the group. They're not loyalists. They're not separatists. They're like, anyways.
Extremists.
Yeah, it wasn't even extremists, but we'll call them extremists. But
I think that's what Mon Mothma
the thing is that they turn into that. Because of the things that happen. Saw Gerrera's group doesn't start that way. You know what I mean? They turn into this ruthless, crazy group. Saw Gerrera, when we see Saw even in Fallen Order, he's not the psychopathic, like untrusting, gnarly dude that we see in Rogue One. There's a story to be told there. And so I think that's super interesting. And something
the Stanleys are saying partisans.
Partisans, thank you. Oh my God, I couldn't have. It was like an old English term. Oh, they're the partisans.
Oh, the old English.
So that's what I was thinking of. We see these partisans turn from kind of a group that wants to do good, wants to fight back, and then they kind of turn and they wind up being this extremist group. I think that's something that we could explore in both Andor, Fallen Order 2, and possibly Kenobi. There's some crossover there that I think is kind of cool.
Timeline wise, could Cassian end up interacting with Cal?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, he was a kid. He was a separatist in the Clone Wars. So basically, he's arced the entire span of everything we now know. He was in the Clone Wars. He was in Rebels. He's now currently alive, or he was in Rogue One. So he was deep into the rebellion. So yeah, he could absolutely, well, at least until he couldn't be alive in Kenobi because he died at the end getting the plans for the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait. Yeah.
So he's gone.
Jedi.
Like, literally everybody died in Rogue One.
Everybody died. And see, that's what I'm saying is like everybody's like, well, Star Wars isn't,
and it was
Star Wars
baller.
This close.
Star Wars isn't like that, and Star Wars isn't ready to kill off people. I'm like, did you see Rogue One? Everybody died.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody until the ship took off died.
Yeah.
Even the people that were trying to get the plans into the ship died.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where I was at in my brain. Kenobi's way before Rogue One. Way before Rogue One.
Yes.
They're getting the plans for the first Death Star. So like it's way before Rogue One.
I was thinking about Mando. Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing. I'm with you. I keep mashing up the timelines like crazy.
If you give me like a minute and 20 seconds to sit down and look at the timeline, I'm going to be fine. But if you ask me to do that on the fly, and it's happened like 3 or 4 times, you know what I mean?
What I'm sticking to is Kenobi is like 1 year after the Solo movie, right around there.
Okay.
Like Solo's 4
I don't use
ABY
Solo
and
as a reference point.
5.
I want to
5
rewatch
ABY.
Solo.
You
I
should.
feel like
It's actually really good.
I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I just haven't watched it many times.
Just the disrespect with this. I don't want to get into that. Okay.
All
All right.
right.
We're not going to get into it. But this is
Moving
kind of interesting. This is cool too. And something that gets talked about a lot. Spidey brings it up. Andor was fighting since he was 6 years old, but he wasn't fighting for the rebellion since he was 6. Remember, he was on a separatist planet.
Technically, he
fighting for
was.
his life.
Yeah.
Technically, he was.
Right.
He was on the right side of justice.
He's
If
on
you
the
really-
right. Yeah.
If you really want to break it down, and like at the end of the day, and because history tells who's is usually written by the victors, but in this
Yep.
case, we're watching it from a third person perspective. It really, he was on the right side of justice the entire time. He's like, the Republic is bad. You're bad, and then they turn in the Empire. He's like, I've told you.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Phil, I have both of those on DVD.
So yeah, I feel like he's been fighting for the rebellion the entire time.
Yeah.
His
In a
whole
way.
life.
But even then, well, this is politics, right? This is Star Wars. I just think there's so much in this era right here that could be crossed over, and like Cal is kind of a crux that joins all these different things together. And I don't even think that was the intent when they set out to write Cal, but it just kind of works for all the stuff. And for me, I mean, Cal's a character that I like. There's a lot of times you get these like new Jedi. I'm not really a fan. I don't really feel attached to him. Maybe it's because I spent, God knows how many hours with him running around with the lightsaber, dying and jumping and falling off of freaking ice slides like Mario 64. But I think it's a really good way to kind of give this whole era that hasn't really been explored that much a lot of depth and a lot of meaning with characters. I think the most important thing, though, and we've been talking about this, is there's something like 200 named characters for Andor. Is that what it is?
Yep, on the cast. Yep.
It can get muddy. You know what I mean?
It's gonna get muddy.
Do we know how is Andor a limited series just like Kenobi, or is this an extended series like Mandalorian?
I think they've already done Principal on 2 series or
Yeah.
2
2
seasons.
seasons?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're working with a large time frame, right? And there's a lot that can be put into that. What was that?
That's what I'm
Comment, Commissioner?
screaming.
I don't
Yeah.
leave these up long enough. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Bro,
I always
louder.
click on a
Oh,
comment
okay.
and then drop
Yeah,
it.
he is a great actor. He's fantastic. I think
don't-
he would fit in with live action stuff instantly, and people would fall in love with him.
That's what I've been saying since that show came out. You don't cast him as the main for just the game, in my opinion.
No, I think this is a lot like this is the
Long
legacy. Yeah, this is the legacy of like Sam Witwer is what I think about when I think about this. Like I've been dying to see Sam Witwer in live action. I don't think we're ever going to get a Star Killer show. You know what I mean?
Not
Yeah.
Star
Say
Killer,
never.
but I feel like we'll eventually get him in some form, but it will never be Star Killer because we're too far in and too far away from that storyline that it just won't work now.
But man, listen, Cal is not afraid to go there. Like he's going down some temples, he's exploring some things other people aren't. He's pushing himself to limits that he might just push himself too far, or he might have to make that ultimate sacrifice that does ultimately mess him up bad. Who knows? They could do a lot with that character.
To see him die at the end of the series doesn't necessarily bode poorly for the content. I mean, if you really think about it, if he dies, that's honestly kind of a good thing because then there's no real recourse of like where was Cal during this time and where was Cal during that time, so
Smart.
it kind of seems like if eventually he does die, then and Vader gets him, it's just another example of Vader's might, and I feel like that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, props Vader up.
I'm just it makes him look successful because it seems like Rebels, there was no success for Vader in that time really because they didn't really get their man.
I mean, Kanan gets murked.
Yeah, Kanan.
He gets exploded.
He gets
yeeted.
He gets it, but at the same time, he doesn't get the Jedi to torture and say, "Where's Kenobi?" Like he wanted somebody to torture and find Kenobi, and Ezra would have been that person being like, he's on Tatooine, right? But
Just stop tickling my feet.
stop it, I'll take the pain, you got the tickles, right? Don't touch my belly.
Oh,
But I mean, really, he was largely unsuccessful. To see his success in a video game
I'll be right back.
would be pretty great, because it shows the might of Vader. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because he was a badass.
well, think about watching Rogue One for the first time, and you can't help but wonder as you're watching, what happened to all these characters? Why don't we see them later?
It's because they dead.
Because
But
they
then-
dead.
But then that also puts that scene in perspective of, why were they so glum when they were talking about great number of sacrifices were made to get this data? It's because they all died.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that a little better after you watch that. You're like,
Oh yeah.
they all died.
Mhm.
People, and it's crazy because you watch the crawl for A New Hope, and they're talking about the rebellion's first real big victory over the Empire, and that victory came with the death of so many rebels, like just everyone that was primarily involved except for a handful of pilots, and that was it. Which then we get to see in A New Hope, which, by the way, is still like, I applaud that. What a stellar use of unused footage from the original trilogy to get those pilots into that film.
Yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant. And since we're on that side of things, I want a damn space battle.
You and me both, bro. And we're finally getting all this talk about Rogue One coming back, and nobody cares about, or not Rogue One, Rogue Squadron coming back, and nobody cares about Rogue Squadron. I'm like,
I'm
dude,
so pumped for it. I want it
Yep.
so bad.
you want to talk about one movie that every Star Wars fan can love with like zero controversy?
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron. It's not going to piss anybody off. There's no canon implications.
That's
Someone's
horseshit.
clipping this. Someone's
That's
clipping
hor-
this.
that's
Be
horseshit.
careful.
I'm gonna
There is no
4
content
years
ever
from
made by
now, I'm gonna be
Lucasfilm.
like, I can't even believe I can't even believe I said that.
Lucasfilm has never not made a controversial arc. I'm sorry.
They're like, you know what? That Ryan Johnson, man, he was onto something. That
We should
whole
bring him
50,
back.
that whole 50-50 thing, we should roll with that. That's cool. That's just
You can make-
right
you
down
know
the
what?
middle. Right down the middle.
X-Wing, they didn't really want to be in the fight. They're just gonna turn around and leave.
Oh, look at what he's frozen on. It's so perfect. Oh, dang it. You were frozen
good,
perfectly. I was just like, yeah.
It's all good.
I just think that's a great opportunity for us to just have a fun sit down, bring some emotions into it for the characters that are in the movie, self-contained story. Call it good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be some crazy grandiose. This ties into 7 different aspects of the Star Wars universe. Let's just have some fun with it.
Well, that's why I miss standalone films so much,
Yeah.
because everything now has to be a trilogy. Like I don't need everything to be a trilogy. I don't need everything to be a connected universe. Even with I consider Rogue One a standalone film. I
is.
consider Solo a standalone film. They can just be enjoyed on their own, even though it's part of this grand epic. But that's what we need. Like, just these beginning, middle, end. Just boom, one film. Let's tell a story and be good with it. You know?
Yeah.
The original
There's
guy is involved.
so many Rogue Squadron books, though.
Well, the
they're like
original
a
guy
bunch.
is talking with her. Like they are.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that wrote the book, I guess. I don't know if
But
it's
you know what?
comics or otherwise.
Because those books
Michael Stackpole.
were like Luke
Yes.
Skywalker's Rogues and Wedge. That was that Rogue Squadron. This Rogue Squadron's going to take place with the Resistance, isn't it?
I
with,
hope
like-
not.
with,
So
like-
here's
No
the deal.
ideas,
but
really.
Here's the weird thing, though,
No details.
because on the
Nobody's
On
gonna
the art-
complain about Star Wars unless they do it this way.
art there were T-70s, okay, and I want to see some T-65Bs. Give me some Empire versus Rebels. Like we need more of that. You know what I mean? We got a little taste of it in Rogue One, which was like still, I think to this day, one of my favorite space battles. You're never
Oh, so
you're
good.
never gonna beat Yavin for me. You'll never beat Yavin for me. But I mean, give me a little bit more of that. Give me some more of that stuff. I'm okay with that, or even that, like just post Endor. If we get post Endor and we got some new recruits.
We lost you.
I don't know why you muted me.
I think StreamYard just got tired of what you were saying, and they were like, "Yeah, we got to put
you censorship. You can't censor me."
I've said this a million times. Unless there's like an extra button on this Roadcaster, I don't know about.
There is not.
Okay, good to know.
All you.
I've said this a million times. It's you do the Top Gun, right? You have the rogue pilot that did really well in all the tests and everything like that, and thinks he's super hot. Comes in under the tutelage of somebody like Wedge Antilles, and then he ends up getting humbled by Wedge, and then humbled again when they go into battle, and he loses one of his squad mates, and he realizes like, bro, me being a hot dog is not going to get the job done. Becomes a team player, and then they get assigned some crazy mission with extremely low probability of survival. They succeed, and then bam, you have your rogue squadron. You know,
Yeah,
easy.
But fixed it. Star Wars fixed it.
Yeah. I'd be shocked though if we go into that era though, because we've got those three main pilots we saw prepped in Mandalorian. We've got Dave Filoni as one. We've got the body double for Luke, and we've got who was the older guy, the Asian guy with the beard. Like they were prepping for the Resistance fighters in that X-wing squadron, and that's what I always thought. I thought we were getting post all of this rogue squadron, which I'm actually for. I think that would be great. Like I don't need it to be an OT era rogue squadron. Tell me something.
You like those T-70Bs, huh? You're gonna come on my channel, X-Wing, and say you like T-70Bs more than T-65s?
But we can have both.
I mean, they got outrun by an N1 starfighter. I mean, that's all I got to say about that.
That was no stock N1 starfighter.
They got outrun by an N1 starfighter. So like left standing still.
He has something under the hood. He was not telling us everything, man.
Yeah, this ain't Fast and the Furious.
There's some
Tokyo
turbo
Drift,
in
bro.
there. He can't.
Okay.
That's illegal. That's illegal.
Yeah, just saying. Sorry, not sorry. You got,
What if this? What about this? We'll never get this. But what if we get a pilot story from the Imperial side?
That'd be great.
I think we could get that. I think we can get that.
That'd be great.
I think that she'll do it. I think if this rogue squadron is in that era, I think she'll do it.
You make them care about both sides, right?
Dude, people loved it in the game.
The Queen's Guard built better ships than X-Wing.
Pelimoto scrapped together something.
They donated their panels to what's her name for her armor.
We're all getting banned for life.
Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, that was great. I was laughing on my own joke well before I told it.
You know what? This is where the whiskey.
I will send you to Jesus.
Look, I love the N1. There's no way it stands up against a T-65B. Just
Right?
never
They can't even catch them.
You're talking about that ship like it's a stock
Run for your
N1.
life.
Shut your whore mouth. All right.
Run for your life. He's got to have speed now.
There you go.
I feel attacked personally.
That's okay.
Bro,
Get
when he
back on-
moves his
get back
head
on
away
target.
from the mic, it's like that scene in Ace Ventura when he's just like,
God damn it, I'm good.
Lehu, sir.
Einhorn's a man.
It's all right.
Oh,
You're gonna
man.
see. You're gonna see
Be a long night.
a preview. A video I'm putting out that is just going to be for the subscribers in the community post portion. I do the Finkel and Einhorn in my head, but right before my interview with Ashley, I'm like Finkel and Einhorn, Finkel and Einhorn.
Oh God.
Of all the things.
I love it.
I love watching the video because you're sitting there and you're like,
Oh, I was fucking cold too.
Oh.
I was like, oh, it's hot in here. I'm going to turn on the air conditioner to full blast right before an interview.
Sweating. He's got
And
the
like,
shakes.
Then I'm like 30-minute wait, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking cold and I don't want to miss it.
I
I'm
don't
so
blame
cold.
you at all, my friend.
Oh, it was fun.
You
Oh
did
man,
fine.
I was totally fanboying out. That was fun. We're gonna do
I'm
more
so
of that.
jealous.
That was fun. Oh man,
oh, I did the wrong one.
That's all right. You want to promote the channel? It's all good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Do the everybody that's here do the YouTube thing. Make sure you do the YouTube thing. Hit the like button.
Do all them YouTube things.
Subscribe down in the description. We got all the homies here on the panel. Make sure you subscribe to them.
And get the thumb up.
But
Click the thumb up.
we should probably get back to talking about Star Wars at some point.
Yeah,
There is that Star Wars thing out there.
This kind of fits in with the conversation we've been having, Hawks. You were talking about Bogano. No, you weren't talking about Bogano. You were
Tython.
talking about Tython.
It's fun.
with
Do you
with
have that
potential
picture of the two next to each other? I want to look at that. Again.
Not next to each other, but I can kind of go back and forth
Oh,
between the
can you
game.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, between the game photo and
Yours.
It was really cool because I never really put the 2 and 2 together when I was looking at the scene on Tython. Boop.
Okay, so here's puzzles in the game. This is Zepho, like the first planet you go to.
Yep.
And the runes is what we're looking at on the side of the ball. Same
they're a little
runes.
Do they match?
They're a little higher.
Dude, they match. They match. Okay,
They're a little
they
higher,
match.
but dude,
But look at this, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, it's 100%, right?
Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one.
100%.
Yeah, see, look at the lip. Look at the inner
Yep.
lip.
Yeah, so this one, the lip is different on it. But
No, but I'm saying it's still like
yeah,
You can still see the curves though.
Yeah.
Yo.
I know.
I'm
It
telling
freaking
you.
blew my mind too. That's
I'm
what I'm
telling
saying. It's like freaking gorgeous. Go to the
So-
wide shot. Yeah,
so
that
in
one.
theory, this is a puzzle that has been
Yeah.
solved
Yep.
already.
Mm-hmm.
And this pillar behind here, we're gonna see the interior, but this all could have been enclosed. Like there could be walls up here. Like we don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
so.
This
If
is
we
This
10
guy right here
what?
did his homework.
He's doing his homework, guys.
I do this. I
He's
do
doing
this over
homework.
here. I do it over
Yeah.
here.
But here's the thing. Now here's what would be super dope. If
Mhm.
we see Cal Kestis solve a puzzle on Tython.
Yeah.
Boom.
Or if he even just shows up here and touches
That's what he's
this
saying.
thing.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Or if he just shows up here and touches this thing and we
Dude,
figure
that
out
could
like
open up an entire
histories of
temple.
it.
Well,
Mhm.
but what if that's one of the cylinders that opens something else that Cal just left open, right? It's like he saw, like Hawk said, the puzzle's solved, right? And something usually when those happen, something lifts or opens or moves or a
Mhm.
hidden wall.
The
So that
elevator,
hidden wall
yeah.
is
Mhm.
already up or open and
Well,
left.
it was on top of a mountain too. If you remember, if
Mhm.
anybody remembers that episode of Mando, how it takes Mando literally 45 minutes to run to the top of that hill. I love this. I love this, and I love it because
Mhm.
Hawks dude plays the game once, and he's just like,
Please don't go this way.
I can show you the world.
basically,
dude,
basically, I'm
that's-
going there.
That's the connective tissue I've been talking about all year. Like the fact
meat
that
and
they're-
potatoes.
that's it, dude. I mean, these guys do their homework, man. These guys talk to Dave Filoni and go, "Hey, you doing anything like this?" Or Dave goes back and goes, "Hey, you remember those giant orbs on Zepho? Let's put one of those on Tython."
What if that's another connection, dude? Maybe we see that. Maybe we see.
Hey, you know that
Grogu.
character from the High Republic nobody likes? Can we like put his cousin in here in the background?
You're talking about-
we'll
you're
talk
talking
about
about-
him later on.
As Geode's second cousin twice removed back there.
Dude,
Bro,
maybe
It's like,
maybe it's the fireball, but I'm a little emotional right now.
y'all are just overthinking this.
That's incredible though. Look at
Yeah.
that. That's
Ronnie, you're killing me.
dude.
No, that's actually great because that's why was okay. Here's the thing: when
It's a
Cal-
Zepho puzzle, man,
when-
or Bogano, or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's the Zepho. It's a Zepho puzzle because they're the ones
Right.
that created all of that. So
Do
yeah,
any other planets have the ball you have to roll into, or is this unique to the Zepho planet?
this is unique to Zepho built items,
Right.
Right,
You
so
see them on
Zepho
other
built
planets.
temples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
On
we
other
saw them.
planets.
We saw
But they
'em
don't
on
look like
Bogano.
this.
Well, we saw it on Bogano,
Yeah.
and then we also saw it on. Where else did we see him
With
at?
the
Saw 'em on
same metal,
everything because you
with
had
the same
orb.
metallic balls and the same.
Now
Yeah.
I want to see the one that's in the gathering with Yoda that he moves for the sunlight that you end up going back to the same temple.
Wasn't that on Ilum?
Ilum.
Not that far.
Yeah, that was
Right.
on Ilum.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a Zepho temple on Ilum.
Right. And that's where
Yeah.
the gathering is. So that's what I'm saying. It seems like everywhere there is this style of orb, there is a Zepho influence, which is super old Force stuff. And I think that's why
Yeah,
Grogu
definitely had a thing for balls.
just sat on that.
What planet
Um,
were you just
Couple
talking
them
about?
just right.
Ilum,
Ilum.
the planet where all
Yeah.
younglings go to get their crystals.
Yeah, that's where you go to
Ilum,
get
yeah.
your
Well,
crystals.
that's what
and then,
becomes Star Killer Base.
yeah, and then those assholes came in.
Those assholes.
You know, well, and here's the thing: are we gonna? I mean, do we eventually get that in the Ben Solo story of him going to Zepho, or I'm sorry, him going to Ilum to get his crystal with Luke?
Oh, on Dathomir as well?
Dude, so
Was there a temple on Dathomir? I don't
There
remember
was-
that.
Yeah,
Did you
dude,
go-
there was that big red statue that you had to
Mhm.
go in and fight him in the final room. That was a giant Zepho temple.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking the not quite Sith guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, the dude that he had like the scars all over him and stuff.
Yeah,
and-
he was.
There's your
dope,
Zepho.
dude.
the
was super
Zepho
dope.
aliens, right?
Yeah.
Let me blow your mind one more time.
Okay. Oh, we gonna get another mind blow?
nuclear take.
My body's ready.
So going through, and I'm gonna do another live stream because it shit out on me today, but you're going through all these concept art, right? It's concept art, whatever. But these are things that Star Wars is thinking about, things they could potentially do. And I just thought it was very funny. I can
So
get
do
this
we,
shit
girl. We all gotta medicate a little bit.
Damn it, I can't find a good image of him.
What are you looking
But
for?
Put it up. Doesn't matter if it's good.
this guy right here.
Boo.
Anybody remember this guy?
Tor
Oh,
Who
Valum.
is this guy?
Yeah, anybody remember him?
they
No.
look very-
What's Tor Valum from?
Valum is the Sith Lord that Kylo eventually would meet.
That's why I don't know.
He is not Palpatine. It's revealed that it is this Sith Lord that we have never met before, and he's more ancient than anything we've ever known before.
Oh,
And
shit.
why does his head look like this guy's head?
I mean, it could be a future evolution of the Zepho. He could be
Yeah,
like
man.
OG Zepho that was hibernating.
Mm.
And I
You know?
who was the Jedi that was in the hologram throughout the game through Jedi Fallen Order? He was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what wiped
The
out
guy
the
that set up
Zepho.
all the puzzles for him. I
Oh,
can't
you're talking
remember.
about my BD1 friend.
Yeah,
I don't
love
remember his name.
BB-1.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, but it was her. Wasn't it her master?
No, Corvus.
Yeah, Corvus.
Yeah.
Corvus.
Oh, was Sears master?
Yeah, Corvus was Seer's master, wasn't he?
Yeah, she apprenticed for him. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
But he's not the guy that invented this whole puzzle.
No,
He's
no,
the
no.
guy that
Zepho
put all
did.
the puzzles.
Bard. What are you talking about? Phantom Bard. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
There's the list. Bagano, Zepho, Ilum, Kashyyyk. You ever just feel like a nerd because
And
you read
Dathomir.
that and you're like, I know how to pronounce every single one of those. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Cordova. Cordova was his name. Thank you.
Cordova.
Oh, yeah,
Cordova. Yeah. Eno Cordova, right?
Yeah, Eno.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Eno Cordova.
He was trying to. He spent like the bulk of his life researching the Zepho and trying to figure out where did they come from, what wiped them out. That guy. Yep.
Yep.
Which is I don't know that actor's name, but he's in a bunch of stuff.
He's so familiar, and I
Yeah.
don't know who he is.
He's in like a
Tony
thousand-
it's right there on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Tony Amendola.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Tony
Oh,
Amendola.
Tony Amendola.
Well, look,
Yeah.
here's the thing: is he was first of all, Eno was a scientist, not like all the other Jedi, and he saw the downfall coming or felt it before anybody else did, and he started to seek out these places where, looking for, the Force, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there were a ton of different types of Jedi. Not everybody was like the warrior.
I mean,
you know?
Jocasta Nu is a perfect example. She
Yo,
was,
listen, I know
Agreed.
Felicity's out here throwing shade, so I got to respond.
Hey,
Colin-
Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, were you
Uh,
talking about Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates?
But he is also credited as a writer on Rise. So, I mean, some of the stuff he did in these concepts are canon as far as stories that they're thinking about. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up, because it could be pulled in. You never know. And I
All of
think
it could be
honestly, like
pulled in.
if we're doing another trilogy of movies, a deeper, darker evil that we don't know about, just like a dyad being the light,
Emperor
whatever,
Vitiate.
Give me something. Yeah, give
Well,
me
but
something.
at the same
Give
time,
me a
everybody's
Corvallum. Like I don't even
everybody's
care,
so
dude.
sick of the Palpatine resurrection.
Yes.
Here's an opportunity where they're giving you a
Yeah.
new bad guy, a new Sith Lord. That
And you
is
bring up people like Vitiate, like some of these guys have known how to do this shit, like
Oops.
essence transfer. Like it was the first shit they learned. You know what I
Dude,
mean? Like,
Vitiate he was the first one to get it down. He makes fun
Right.
of Palpatine. He's like, ha, that little bitch. He
right.
doesn't know
And
how
they
to do
made them
that."
all legends. They made them all legends, which separates it, which is good for us because now the
Yes.
names can be recontextualized to,
Well, and this
to
is
fit the story better.
thank you, because this is what I was saying the other day. Is that although everybody is pissed off that Legends content, EU content was erased from the
That's a
current
big brain
canon,
move.
it gives them the opportunity to go in and say, okay, let's use this, let's use this, let's use this. And although it is not the direct interpretation that the original writers got and the original interpretation that they came up with, it is still a use of their character. It is still somebody that they're not making up from scratch.
Right. Who
And-
wouldn't want to cherry pick from people who are more creative than you? I mean,
Right.
it's just
I mean, they
way
bought-
better.
But why else would you buy the content, right? Why else would you buy and pay all of these people off?
Want me to blow your minds one more
and
time,
buy
real quick?
all
Yeah,
of this
do it.
stuff unless
buddy's
you were
ready.
going to reintroduce it into the current canon. That's a smart business move, right? I know it's not what everybody wants, but it's a good business move.
Before you jump to the next thing, Hawk,
worries.
what the Zepho always reminded me of were I think I'm saying this right, the Ricotta from KOTOR,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that ancient civilization
Yep.
that we're dealing with in Knights of the Old Republic. I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm
Wait, say
sorry.
again?
No, you're
I
good.
was
I
trying
mean,
to-
yeah, throw it in there. I don't know. I don't
Everybody
know.
went silent. I'm like, whoa.
Repeat it one more
just-
time.
I
'cause
don't
I was
think it's
grabbing
gonna
this
be a thing.
photo.
No,
He's
yeah,
talking about the ricotta.
and you're right.
Oh
but
yeah,
at
yeah,
same
the
time,
ricotta. Yep.
how do you know that? Look, I mean, if you go back to the Ashla and Bog, the Ashla and Bogan theory, of the light and the dark, and that they originated in the same space. Who's to say that the Zepho didn't?
Oh, you weren't ready yet.
A sect
No,
didn't
you're good. I
break
can't
off
get this to zoom much more.
and
but-
become a different named society that is very similar to the Zepho, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not uncommon for that to happen. So why not?
Girl, me too.
Oh, no, man. Now I'm hungry.
I know, I am. I'm actually
Oh,
super hungry. I
man.
barely ate today.
Why
Does nobody know how to spell baloney?
I like it like that.
I thought it was with a Y.
It's with a G.
Yeah, Bologna.
I thought it was with a Y.
No, it's B-O-L.
Balone E.
My baloney has a first name.
It's HOMER.
What?
All right, we can try this. I don't know how big it's gonna.
Obsession,
let me make
virtual
it.
high five.
That's fine. That's fine.
So on the guy here, this they have.
That was an old man joke, I guess. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I fucking love it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I keep bouncing back to that Eclipse trailer and those guys that were those ancient beings we don't know about.
Yeah.
If you notice this thing right here,
Yeah.
this piercing,
Uh-huh.
it's like a spiked earring, literally hanging
It's
down.
a Yuuzhan Vong. Get over it.
Yeah, bro, look at his.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can't zoom it in any further.
Okay.
Not
No, I see what you're
bad.
talking
Not
about.
bad thought though. Yeah.
I hate it.
I don't know. They just seem so much more noble. Like the Zepho seems so much more noble. You know what
He's
I mean?
got the same
these also-
jewelry
these
style
also
thing
could
hanging right
be
here.
Worshippers of the Zepho, right? That's
Mhm.
that's also not necessarily saying they're evolved from the Zepho, but these could be descendants of the Zepho. Now pull up the
Mhm.
Zepho picture because I just want to look at the nose, the breathing apparatus.
Yep.
Okay, see,
yeah.
so
Hard no, bud.
They don't really have like a. They're more like Cad Bane in the face structure.
Yo, Red
Here's a
Sox.
better-
What up?
There's a better picture of.
I just feel like this could be worshippers of Zepho if they want to go in this direction. Again, these images.
I mean, look at that.
it's close.
But
Don't
you
read
see,
it. It will ruin the sequel trilogy for you. Don't read it.
This is why we're in such a cool place right now with all this, because they're getting ballsy with it and they're pulling
Mhm.
things from EU and they're pulling things that are from deep in the lore. So you can start to make really cool connections like this.
Well, but that's again, that goes back to what I was saying. There's a reason that
This
they
right here,
bought.
man.
There's a reason that they bought all of the EU and all of that and shelved it. Right? They did that on purpose so that they could go back and figure out what works in the current space that they're designing. Right?
Oh, yeah, you think that looks like a Duros?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like the face structure, the middle
More,
of the face.
Oh, these
not,
guys?
Not him. This one. That's
Yeah.
more of I forget the
Where it
the
sinks
species
in
for
right
Cad
here?
Bane. Yeah, that
Duros.
center.
Well,
the
and
center.
there's no nose. It's more the breathing apparatus.
I like
Yeah,
it. I like it.
Nostril.
The Duros.
Right,
That's what it was. Yeah, Duros.
Yeah, read them and then check it out. Tell me what you think. Why would it ruin the sequel trilogy? Dude, a lot of people hate the Yuuzhan Vong and that whole deal. I love it. I think it's great. I like the the Grisk more than I like the Yuuzhan Vong, but
Oh, I agree with Maria. I don't think that's kind of why I'm a little upset about this eclipse stuff at all. First you release it too early, then we get into trouble. Then we're here where it's not released until 2030 basically. Like somebody else should buy that IP and buy that company and release it from somewhere else.
Yeah, you need a little bit of better wings to fly.
Yeah.
You never know though. Look, it could be the Star Wars game. I always go back to Heath Ledger as Joker. I'm like, that's never gonna work. I hate it.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and you're like, right.
A lot
It
of
ends
people
up
are like,
being the
wait,
greatest thing
what?
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
there's in the gaming space, it just feels like we are continuously hyped up and spun up for what's coming. It's coming, and then it never happens.
Obsession, I'm on the edge constantly. I'm constantly on the edge. I'm like, I'm waiting to get tipped over for like the next cool thing that's going to come out. You know what I mean? And they're always like pulling me towards the edge. And then one day something happens and it pushes me another 15 feet back. Like,
Well,
I'm just waiting for one thing to land and for it to hit so hard that everybody's pumped.
Well,
You know
look,
what I mean?
look, Lego Star Wars is definitely the thing coming out in what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Coming out, it's going to light the internet on fire. Servers are going to crash. The whole Star Wars fandom is going to love it. But
Good thing it's single player.
But at the end of the
They
day,
gotta patch that.
they're going to
Patch
patch
the man.
How about just getting the game out so we can play 9 different movies worth of stuff and let
That'd
them
be great.
patch it after some people beat it? Like
That'd be great.
let's get the gameplay out there and just get it out, because it's been what, 2 years or some ridiculous nonsense. So
We gotta all start in different places and we'll all meet up in the middle.
Yeah.
Hawks and I'll start at the end. You two start at the beginning, and we'll meet in the middle.
We'll do the good Star Wars and then you guys just work through the other stuff.
But at the same time, look, they at least they had gameplay. This is the part about trailers and game companies that's really pissing me off right now.
Gotta give me gameplay, bro.
You got to show me active gameplay if you're going to release a trailer anywhere in the anywhere on the internet, anywhere on television or movies. If you're going to release something, give me gameplay, because then you have a proof of concept. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, Eclipse is still an illusion. It doesn't even exist. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a KOTOR SOTOR cinematic.
Well, that's why I was so on the fence with outside of Star Wars, why I was on the fence with that Hogwarts game, that Harry Potter one. But they finally just showed gameplay, and now I'm all on board. Now I'm like,
Bro,
okay, great.
I am so hyped for that. Damn, that's like the whole reason I'm thinking about getting a green screen. I'm gonna get a freaking scarf. I'm gonna have a little
Ghostbusters,
wand.
bro.
I'm gonna be playing this game on Stash Rendar, just like going hard.
Yeah.
You know what the one thing that pisses me off about it though? There's no Quidditch.
Oh,
No, there'll be Quidditch.
That could be an addition, dude. That could be an addition. And what
I've
would be
dove
more
deep
fun,
into this.
What would be more fun is if they did a patch where you could multiplayer Quidditch,
Oh,
I would wreck you guys.
where it would be like it's together, doofus. Where like we have a squad with like 2
No,
meters,
no,
Pacer, you know.
No,
No, you
you're the seeker.
It would just be me on a team by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd be the beater, the seeker. I'd be everything all at once.
You know what? You
Good
know
luck.
what? Now I know what's gonna happen, guys. When that Ghostbusters game comes out, X-Wing's gonna be the ghost.
I'm
every time.
100% gonna be the ghost. Are you
He's
kidding
the
me?
fucking ghost
let's
every time.
hunt him. every time. Let's just us three
I'm
hunt
so
him
down.
every game.
It's gonna be
You know-
X-wing laying in the middle of the Quidditch field, and we're just
Beating the
blunders,
shit.
bludgers just to the
You
head.
wanted this. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Shoving the slip in his ear. Just here.
No, but bro, that Ghostbusters game, you can be the ghost and you can inhabit objects. So it's like off
it's
from Call
gonna
of
be
Duty.
like that peekaboo game.
Yeah, so I can like inhabit a trash can and run around as a trash can like real life.
It's even better if we as the group can hunt you. Like that's even more fun. Let's get in the Ecto one and
Yeah.
put me in that gunner seat, bro.
Yeah, they might put in Quidditch. You can ride a broom. That's for sure a thing. And there's classes how to ride a broom. And the pitch is obviously right next to Hogwarts, but they have not said anything about Quidditch yet. So I'm hoping they're saving it.
It would be an awesome patch.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's going to be some form of a season pass that goes with that game, and Quidditch is definitely going to be in
It
that.
better be in there, bro.
Now, is this all the movies like the Lego movie?
No, this is
This is a prequel.
This is prequel.
Yeah,
this is
bro.
like
This is
way back.
Isn't it late 1800s or early 1900s Hogwarts?
Yeah.
So this is pre everything.
No Hagrid, no
Yeah.
Potters. Yep.
yeah,
no
they're-
Dumbledore.
they
Yep,
have a
no
world
Voldemort.
of freedom here.
I'm so excited, bro.
Mhm.
Like I don't have the knowledge for the Harry Potter universe, but I'm a nerd for Harry Potter. Like
do.
you wouldn't
I
believe.
I was on board on Harry Potter until the last scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Or the last scene before the epilogue. The last scene of the movie.
He's
I
like the
literally-
drunk uncle. He's telling that story again.
I was like, after that, I was like, man,
I'll
you
be
guys,
right back.
movie makers, like that was a fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
the game ought to be dope.
It looks. I mean, I watched this whole extended thing with it today, and then even on the PS5 store, they had a preview thing on there. I watched that. It became real because gameplay was shown.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm
that's
with
my
you,
thing.
right?
That's my thing. If you're not as far as I'm concerned, Eclipse is right now a cinematic, and that's all it is. It's no different than Star Wars Theories, Vader 1, or his Vader 2 pre show, right, with Mace Windu. That little clip he did. As far as
You
I'm
know
concerned,
what's actually a perfect example, and I'm fanboying this game, holding out for it because the cinematic was so amazing, and I actually saw in-game demos Beyond Good and Evil 2. I don't know if you guys remember that demo a few years ago at E3, but like we're talking the scale of the worlds that they were making was like you own a Star Destroyer, probably smaller than a Star Destroyer. You fly your little ship up into it. Your guy gets out, walks around in it. Your guy has like a jetpack. The scale alone of the game was massive, and you get to see tech demos and have not heard of anything. 2 years, 3 years.
well, and that's my thing is I don't
But
want
the next gen.
I don't want to see
You
a
gotta be
trailer.
patient.
I don't want to see anything unless you have an active gameplay. Unless there's an active game close. Don't show me something that you're still working on. I'm over it.
I don't know, man. I'm okay with the flex. Like I've been saying, I think it's a cry for help a little bit too, because maybe this studio is not getting enough faith from, the industry. So they're like, listen, this is our concept, bro. And our team is ready to do it. We just might not be able to pull it off on the current engine. Next gen consoles, I think, are just a huge challenge for a lot of studios.
Well, it's a different way of developing the games, especially ones when, like, if you notice these games that are coming out lately, the stuff that's getting announced are not getting announced for the Switch, for example. They're being designed for things that can be on the PC and like a PS5 and an Xbox, respectively. But coding for something like a Switch or something different, it's a whole nother ball game. But now we finally got, so both these games, right? Harry Potter, Hogwarts, and Ghostbusters are both Q4 this year, which is, we're at the end of March, guys. We're not, we're at the beginning of the year, but this flies by. That's not a ton of time left. So what we saw, even though it says on the little bottom, it's like everything is subject to change. This is, whatever footage. It's not going to be ridiculously different from that. We got
No, they're done.
Good. Yeah. They're close.
That's my gripe. it has nothing to do with anything else.
Miss Arlena with a 10 credit drop. Look, y'all. Hold on, I got to do the Darth Arlena. Look, y'all. My Wednesday eye candy. Handsome group of guys on this panel. Now continue racking up my youngling eliminations. She needs the we gotta do like a you know the Halo kill counter.
Yeah.
We need a
You know what I'm
rapid
talking
stuff,
about?
like a movie
Kill-tacular.
sticker.
Oh, dude, I'll do. I
Kill-tacular.
X-wing.
design
on it.
that. Design
You got
that.
it?
I'm
We
on
need
it.
to do that for
I'm
sure.
on it.
Thank you.
Dude,
Nice.
Kill-tacular.
you guys started this.
God.
Thank you, Darth Arlena. Love you, sweetheart. She just got her Discord up and running, by the way.
Oh,
So
sweet.
if you don't have an invite yet, we'll get you an invite to her Discord.
I gotta get up in there.
Yeah. Where were we at before?
We were talking
Talking-
about hype, whether or not we should be
Yeah.
hyped for games that are announced with just a trailer and no gameplay,
Mm,
no gameplay attached,
Mm.
no like where it says like this is in engine, just a test. Like give me that stuff. Show me the engine.
I was, it was like they had an Avatar game that came out a while back, and it was like trash. It was massive trash. And then they're doing a new Avatar game now, and it looks like it's going to be epic. But what do you do? What do you like? What does it look like? What's the HUD? What's the interface? How do you
Yeah.
like? What does the map look like?
Is that Ubisoft also? Are they doing
Yes.
that as well as the
Yes.
Star Wars
So
game?
So it's going to be a
It's open
big ass
world.
map.
But it's not
Yeah.
just Ubisoft, it's massive. And they're doing the Star Wars open world game. So
Yeah.
they're doing Star Wars open world and Avatar. Like this
That's
studio,
just going to be wild,
2-3 years, massive will be massive.
massive,
Massive. Yeah.
for sure.
I think they did Titanfall too, right?
Did Massive
be-
do Titanfall? Okay,
Could-
because
or
that
no,
means they know
Respawn,
how to tell a
Respawn.
good story. Yeah, because
But yeah, it's
Titanfall
all-
2 is like one of my favorite stories ever.
Yes. Yeah, I love that game.
What was what was the big mech's name? Do you remember from Titanfall 2? He was my
No.
best friend, god
Yeah.
damn it, and they killed him. Those sons of bitches.
It just seems like there's a lot of open breathing room for a lot of these companies. I just don't want to see a lot of these companies get trapped in this exact same blueprint of releasing trailers and cinematics for something we're not going to see.
Dude,
I think they're
Darth
worried
Arlena is
so much
the
about it being
only
shelved.
Darth Arlena is the only other person to know what the hell I'm talking about with Beyond Good and Evil 2. So yeah, shout out to you. The trailer is a monkey character. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this Beyond Good and Evil from PlayStation 1.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the big storm.
Yes. So in the
Yeah.
trailer, he's stealing this idol from this massive pig. And it is hilarious, dude. He's just like, whoop, shoots his little hand thing up and just dips. And it's like them chasing him through the city and stuff. It's so hyped. It's as hyped as Eclipse. Now nothing. 2-3 years. So yeah.
So
it's
I
gonna be the same
remember
with
that
this game.
trailer coming out, right? And there was like a starship that was out on the outskirts that was doing like recon or something and couldn't make it back to the ship, and there was this big wave that came and all this kind of crazy. I have no idea what that game is about. I don't know what gameplay looks like. Is it freaking turn-based? I don't know what it is.
And they did an engine test. There's a long video with developers you guys can find, but I think that's going to be games going forward, man. They're just, it's so much coding, and this is such a we're breaking new ground with what these consoles and computers can do. So I have full faith. Just time.
They're making cinematic events here now. It's not like gaming like we grew up with. They're making movies that are interactive. Like it's just
Dude,
nobody played this game, but do you guys remember Defiance?
Yes, bro. I
So-
loved that game.
Defiance was a sci-fi TV show.
Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking of Homefront. Never
There was
mind.
a video game
I played
called
Homefront.
Defiance, and I swear to God, the first 2 episodes of the show, an event happens in the show. It's the same event in the game. Your character's on the ground level watching it happen, and so the storyline bounced back and forth between the sci-fi show and the video game. It's open world, multiplayer, first-person shooter.
That's kind of crazy.
It was sick. Like, do stuff like that. Do stuff like that.
I miss Killzone.
Oh,
Wow.
Killzone.
Yeah,
When,
there's a deep
when
cut.
Killzone died, I switched to Xbox.
Dude,
Because
I
the
have
last
the
Killzone.
I have the rifle
Yeah.
thing that you put the motion controls in for the PS3
Yeah.
for Killzone
Yeah.
3.
My buddy had a 3D TV, and I got to
Yep.
play Killzone in 3D, and I never thought there was ever going to be anything better for
It was
any video
sick.
game experience in my entire life.
I didn't know. Okay, so
And in
Maria just
fact,
said I
I've
didn't know
never
the video
played a
game
video. I've never
came
played
first.
a video game like that since.
Yeah, there's hidden gems out there people don't know about. I didn't know that the video game came first, then they made the show. Like that's crazy. Do a show
Yeah,
like
I know.
do a CGI show, Old Republic. Like forget the live action. If it's too hard, bro, just give voice actors. Send it.
Dude, can you imagine
Yeah.
the amount of money that you have to put in to
Oh
make
my
a CG show for like an old? If we got a series, an Old Republic series that was done in the style of the cinematics,
They already have most of it.
rave review.
They got all your
rave
models
reviews.
already.
Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's a good example of that. And honestly, I don't know how well it actually did, but I enjoyed it. Ratchet and Clank.
Mhm.
They put out that new game that landed, and not the most recent one. There was a
I was
brand
gonna
new
say,
one.
has the new one come out
There's a
yet?
brand new one that came out, but the one right before that, they did a movie also, a CG animated movie, which was basically
way.
the game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
So funny.
and it was good. It was really entertaining. But they can do stuff like that. Project Cambrian said he wanted a sequel to Conker's Bad Fur Day. That game
Conker's
was so
Bad Fur
messed
Day.
up.
You know, I never played that.
Oh, it's so the things they say in that game are just
That was N64, wasn't it? Conker's?
it was like N64 and possibly PS1 also, but
Yeah.
it was like this was not for kids.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. So they came out with that new one, the Darth Malgus cinematic.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. And I know that it costs less to make those than it does to make the game. And I wonder if they just did that and they released it on Disney Plus. Like, how many people would come flocking to Disney Plus just to watch that?
The Old Republic stories like
Mhm.
that, just laid out like that. Because
Yep.
that's the great thing about those cinematics. They set the tone for the story you're about to play, which doesn't look like that in the game. Not even
Yeah.
close.
God,
But
dicks.
you get your basis for what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine a prelude 8-episode CGI prelude that leads up to the KOTOR remake?
Oh,
Ah,
dude.
sign me up yesterday.
You know what? You know what that's like? Holy crap. That's like what they did with the original Clone Wars cartoon. That led up to Revenge of the Sith. I watched those every week on StarWars.com until Revenge of the Sith came out.
Mhm.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
100%. That's gold.
Again, I'll restate. I know it's interesting to hear, but there are people at Lucasfilm who do watch even small shows like this. And I think it's just free brainstorming
it.
content.
Yeah.
It's
Do it.
free brainstorming content for them.
Yeah.
It depends on the channel, but some
Mm,
channels
yeah.
are free brainstorming content from massive Star Wars fans. Are like, oh shit, that's a good idea.
Dude, the first
You know, the
time I
thing
saw
is, too,
Grievous
though,
was in that Clone Wars cartoon, and I couldn't wait for Revenge of the Sith. I was like, who is
Yeah.
this Grievous guy?
And then you got punked.
And then he got punked. Yeah. And then he had asthma.
I don't know if all of the creators are held to this kind of standard at Lucasfilm, but I've had Kevin Scott actually tweet me and say, okay, but don't tag me in a theory that I had about Momin because you won't be able to use it. So I think if they're directly like
Oh.
mentioned and can be tied to something, they're actually not allowed to pull from it in some regard. But there's definitely a fine line there, I'm sure, because I would be all
Yeah.
over YouTube every single day if I worked for Lucasfilm. Like, we know they do. Ryan Johnson
Oh, yeah.
has said it. So they're out here.
Mhm.
They're definitely scouring.
And there you go. That's how we got Arcane. Riot Games
Mhm.
released a bunch of animatics for years that served as inspiration for the TV show.
Love that.
Not saying they're
Cool.
listening to us. I'm just saying.
Right.
Oh, man.
What?
But little things like that work for that show. Other studios are going to start to catch on. You know,
I mean, there's a lot of,
marketing
I mean,
strategies.
everything. The thing is everything doesn't need to be next gen console either. There's still a lot of room in the subspace for companies to make stuff that's easy to produce, but it's not going to be this huge next gen experience, right? And that's
Mhm.
you know,
A lot of
it's
stuff's going streaming too.
Yeah.
right. So it's
This
just
is the future of television, by the way. People are leaving cable TV in droves, and they're like, "Screw it, I'm gonna watch YouTube."
I haven't
well, I
had
mean,
cable in
you know,
like a decade.
streaming in general is a large thing. I mean, look at some of these people that like Fast Feast, the guys that do Hot Ones. They got a
First
TV
we
show on-
feast.
they got a TV show on
Like
TBS.
one of my favorites. Too.
Right?
So
There's a lot. Look at Getting Dug with High, right? He ended up posting.
What is that?
Google that on your own. That's a
All
lot.
right, yeah, it's gonna be a deep dive tonight.
That's the deep.
I
No,
like
bro.
Action Bronson's show
But
too.
There's a lot of these. I mean, look at even Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan started on YouTube with his podcast stuff. And
That dude has more viewers than CNN and Fox combined.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Combined.
his viewership is huge, and that's why Spotify gave him $100 million deal, right?
And that's why mass media tried to take him down immediately.
Well, I mean, there's a
They're like, oh shit. He's racist. He's racist. that was like the first thing we could do. What do we do? He's racist.
well.
I love
mean,
that his Instagram is always just jalapenos and elk steaks.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
jalapenos and elk steaks.
Have you ever had a
week.
good an elk steak cooked?
Hell yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, dude. It's so
I'm
good.
I'll have to
so
send you guys,
hungry right now.
I'll have to send you guys
talking about
videos.
lasagna before, now we're talking about steaks.
My neighbor literally across the street, he doesn't own them anymore, but there's like 7-foot tall fences because he used to own elk.
well, and look,
He used
I
to
mean,
breed them and
I
sell the
have
steak.
No, he's not.
I have a very different opinion on Joe that I'm not allowed to publicly say.
I love Joe.
But
He's an East Coaster. He's no bullshit. If you've never lived on the East Coast and met a no bullshit person, then yeah, you're like, oh my god, that guy's so fucking insensitive. He's so insensitive.
He is not the poster child for always.
It's a dude who brings people on his show with differing ideas constantly and tries to hear every side of the story.
Right, which is great.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking great.
Which is great, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily reflect him in the off-air space. So you know him on his on-air space, whereas other people
Right.
I've known him since he was
That's what
a
I'm saying.
fighter.
He's a comedian.
Right,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So
But my
like
point
when
being is
people
that-
take his
Well, he was
stuff
a
at face
fighter
value,
before
I
he was
laugh.
even a comedian.
Point being is that his personality on air or anything that you've ever seen him even on stage is not necessarily how he is in the space in the real world. So unless
Do you hang out with Joe a lot?
I spent a lot of years on the UFC.
Oh, actually, yeah, you
stateside
did,
with him. So,
actually.
yeah, actually, I
spent
do.
a lot of time
You
with
want
him.
to really break it down? Yeah, actually, I did spend a lot of time around the man. Yeah,
To be fair, if there's
be
one
fair.
person on this panel that does know I'm outside of
Emotionally.
it,
and I can just say I'm being very vague, but like I said, this person you see on stage does not always reflect the person you know in the real world. He is just like any other.
but they're
celebrity.
trying to take down the on-stage Joe. They're not trying to take down the real-life Joe.
Again, like I said, I'm not neither here nor there on either side of that argument. I'm just saying the book doesn't always match the cover. And if people have an impression of him that have met him and dealt with him in personal space, they might have a different interpretation than the comedian and the UFC commentator and the celebrity that is Joe Rogan. That's all I'm saying.
And not every podcast is a hit, but the dude is not a meathead. He
I
is
know this
smart.
very
from
well
on-screen
read.
He is
people, too.
smart,
He's
bro.
very
He
well
has read more books than all four of us combined on this panel, and I
he's
promise
very
you that.
very well read. He may not
Yeah,
be, I don't know his college.
he asks the
education,
right questions too,
but
man. He
he
presses
is
everybody,
very,
both
very
sides.
good interviewer. He's a very,
Yes.
very good on-air talent. He's a good, funny comedian.
That's where I leave it.
That's where yeah. I mean, I don't need to know more.
Yeah, I don't need my medical advice to come from Joe Rogan. I'm not-
Exactly. I don't
get
you
here.
know, like whatever.
I just want to point
podcast.
out that Maria's
No
prior
cable, that's how
comment
we
to
got
that
here.
is the one that's really killing me right now because she went and got Texas Roadhouse ribs, and I am
I know she's just feeding
freaking ravenous right
that
now.
hungry,
Yeah.
that hungry thing. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like,
When you're on
I
stream
got
all day,
ribs
Matt,
from Texas, but I'm from New York, bitch.
hey, she gets her
Texas
salsa
Roadhouse
from
is
New
awesome.
York City. New York City.
We have so many
Um,
Texas Roadhouse here. I hate
Oh, I
them.
love it. It's so delicious. I was waiting for my heart to stop.
But the point being is that he doesn't talk about stuff on his podcast that he's not educated about, and I think that's a very that's
super important.
That he has not at least done his homework on.
That's
Here
just
comes
it.
the
If he's not,
4 foot of rage is in the chat. She's out. Don't you dare, you son of a bitch!
All 48 inches of fury is here.
I'll fuck you up.
well, whoever, 3 of you are eating, and you need to stop and like the stream.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I didn't even like the stream. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's what it is. It's X-wing obsession in
hurts,
you.
bro.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Likes
I'm
on the
going
stream.
in now.
We're there.
I'm going
that's
now.
Oh, yeah, appreciate everybody watching.
Doing your homework, being an
I'm number
interviewer,
38.
spending the time, gathering the information as somebody who's asking questions to other people is a large part of even what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to do homework. I'm sure when Daniel came on your podcast, on your channel, you did an absorbent amount of homework on stuff that you probably didn't already know.
Who?
Didn't Daniel Logan come on the show?
Mark Anthony Austin.
Oh, Mark
Close
Anthony
second.
came on.
Close second.
Thought it was. I just
I was
watched.
gonna say you had Daniel Logan on and didn't.
I just
invite
thought.
us.
I just
I didn't
literally.
even fucking tell anyone.
I just
Married like a year and a half ago. I didn't
Hold on,
actually tell
listen.
anybody.
Still, he's waiting
I
to drop
just
it
read a
tonight,
tweet with his
actually.
name, and that's was like, oh, I think that's a name.
He just
Anyway,
spoiled it. Thanks.
you had to do research. You had to do background stuff. It's part of being an interviewer, and that dude does his homework. If the guy's written 10 books, he's read all 10 books, right? And so I think that's the important lesson to take away from somebody at that professional level.
You look beautiful.
I'm going to sleep.
That was adorable.
Shut up.
She making fun of you?
What?
We're making fun of him.
No.
Oh,
Look, there's only 2 things that come out of New York that are better than everybody everywhere else. Their New York pizza street stuff and their bagels. Everything else can be quantified elsewhere. Somebody said New York over Jersey.
some people have never had bagels.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much bread. Yeah,
those New
they
York
got bread.
bagels.
They figured bread
I'm
out.
sorry, bro. Those New York bagels are something different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And that street pizza.
Is Noah's Bagels a thing anymore? Does anybody remember Noah's Bagels? Did you ever have a Noah's Bagels?
No,
No.
I remember
Oh,
Noah's Arcade. But not
God.
Noah's Bagels.
Yeah, I remember no.
Yeah, Noah's Arcade. Yeah.
You want bagels? Go to Jersey.
Noah's Bagels
Go to
was like
Jersey.
Noah's Bagels was this. My mom's from the East Coast. She raised me this way. She taught me how to make masala soup when I was a little guy. It's funny. Growing up, I always thought we were Jewish. Apparently, we're not Jewish, but she's
Someone banned Phil. Someone banned Phil McCracken. What does he live in Chicago? What are you from Chicago?
Chicago.
Is he
pizza's
from
not real
Chicago?
pizza, bro.
West Coast
Tomato pie
West
shit.
Coast pizza is trash compared to East Coast pizza. Okay,
God.
just get over it.
He literally said NY pizza isn't pizza. I can never speak to this man again.
But there was this awesome bagel shop I used to go to. It was called Noah's Bagels, and it was owned, but it was a Jewish family that owned this, and they made matzo ball soup, and they had the best bagels in the world, and they
This whole
disappeared.
panel's hungry because this conversation has turned to
They
food.
disappeared when I was like 12 years old, and I haven't seen one since. Very
I had
frustrating.
my buddy came over one time. We all had a party here at the house after we got the house. We're all partying, and a whole bunch of people stayed over because we drank way too much. And it was a bagel place, like right up the road. You could walk to it. So we got a bunch of bagels. And my buddy's here, and he's like, "Dude, he's like, you have no idea how lucky you are. These bagels are good."
That's
and
a
I'm
good-ass
Jewish.
bagel, bro.
Yeah,
It's like-
dude, New York bagels are just fire. I don't eat bagels a lot, but New York bagels, like you go to New York, you gotta get bagels. But anyway,
Yeah.
I love it. We talk Cal Kestis,
you go to-
Rogan, and food.
I'm trying to go to Coruscant for Kylo's croissants.
Oh, there you go. I could go for a Kylo croissant. Come on now. What the fuck?
What?
Bring him back. Bring him
Well,
back.
YouTube pulled him out.
Coruscant croissants. I mean, I'm just saying, it's got a ring. It's
That's
got a
gonna be
ring.
on the Halcyon, 1,000%.
Oh my god, please.
Kylo's
Coruscant croissants.
Kylo's Coruscant corner.
C cubed for the millennials.
Raise
K-
green,
K
red,
triple C, I mean.
What the hell is even that?
Oh,
We should probably end the stream, probably, right?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm cracking up, man.
I mean, what else is going on?
Look, we can go political. There's all kinds of stuff I want to talk about politically.
We don't need to do that. Cal's Coruscant Cafe. There you go. Cal, come over to Cal Kestis Cadillac and get yourself something brand new.
Watto's
Cal
wacky
Kestis, we
inflatable.
serve the bestest.
We need to put out a commercial line for freaking like Star Wars Jedi that didn't make it.
Oh,
Come
The
down
really-
the
the
Cal's
really
Cadillac
lost.
discount corner. I make the best croissants on Coruscant.
Caleb Doom's Auto Shop.
did you see that? Remember that Robot
are
Chicken where the guy
friggin'
does like the
adorable.
insurance commercial? He's like, "Have you been injured by a jetty?"
Those Jedi scum, come to me.
It's got to be like Greer though. Like Greer before he became a pilot. Like, did those Jedi wrong you? Did they get on your couch with their shoes on?
Oh,
We make sure the Jedi pay.
oh.
And then Watto shows up. He's like, they wanted to pay me in the Republic credits. I needed something more real.
Those swindlers always trying
It's
to
my
get
money and I want it
It's mind
now.
trick. Those tricks that don't work on me. Only
What's
money.
that JG Wentworth?
Yeah.
It's my money and I want it now.
And my credits. I want it now.
Yes.
The stream is so trash and there's 40 people watching it.
No,
Sorry, I
no,
love you
it's
guys.
Perfect, bro.
oh man.
Man, I love that the chat's just throwing shit out there.
I know. It's the best.
Padawan Pimple Popper palps his pimple painlessly.
Oh my god.
I want the chat to know I rewatch every single one of these streams to watch
Mhm.
the chat.
Oh my
That's
God,
what
it's
my
so
second
funny.
viewing is.
I love you
I
guys.
love
This shit is so funny.
That's hilarious.
Welcome to the Bagel Council.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trader Post.
Oh my god.
Do you trade first? Do I trade first?
It's gonna be on the Halcyon. Oh god, I almost called it the Halcyon.
Greedo's groceries.
Oh, bro. Now
I
you,
can
Actually-
bake anything.
oh,
It
bro.
could just
now
be
you
like
need,
a Krogan's, but it's just Greedo's. It's just a grocery store.
you need Poet and apron behind the
Or
counter.
Kroger's.
Oh, Trader Post.
Hmm.
Oh man.
I still have to cook
No.
dinner.
Oh,
I'm gonna be coming up with bad Star Wars references for freaking
it's great.
IHOP for the next 45 minutes.
Oh,
But you know what?
Felicity, I'll
Say
hold
them
those
out
house
loud to your
clothes.
significant other the whole way.
Aldo's House of Hose.
Say hi
my
to the people,
God.
Mrs. X-Men.
Yeah, Yaddles Dreidels. What is going on?
Oh,
Hold
she
those
coming on
house
stream?
clothes.
The alliterations right now.
We have a guest.
This sounds like a Lego script.
Oh, come here.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm red.
Oh.
Stop it.
Is she
So
gonna rip
shy.
into him?
She's
Stop
so
it
shy.
right now. That was
No,
hilarious.
tell her that my wife makes fun of me all the time on stream. Tell her
Oh
to get
my
in here and
God.
rip
She
on you.
wouldn't even know how to begin to make fun of me.
Oh
Just
my
tell
god.
her to talk to you like she normally does.
Oh.
If she could put any
Matt gave-
store in the
Matt
Star
gave
Wars
Be
Be
mall,
like, you look very handsome today. I
Matt
love you.
Cave's wife is epic, bro. She has no filter.
She has
Yeah,
no
Matt
filter
Cave.
whatsoever.
She's as far West Coast as you can get. She's on the other side. She does not talk like that.
Dude, you remember we were playing Mario Kart, and I'm like,
Oh,
I did
bro.
all that. Now I'm in 7th, and you just hear her off in the background. She's
No,
like,
you-
it's because you
Matt Cave's
suck.
wife.
Oh, bro.
I
Matt
remember
Cave's
that.
wife
I
is
remember that.
hilarious, dude. I didn't know I married such a loser. Oh my
Oh,
god.
God damn
bro.
it. She just threatened to punch me in the face.
Yeah. I love it, bro. It's hilarious.
in game,
This is
in
why
game.
when I was living in New York, I didn't date. I didn't date when I lived in New York because I couldn't do it. I'd be like,
Oh,
"Hi,
shit.
honey." She'd be like, "How about I punch you in your fucking stupid mouth?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
Does that mean you like me?"
She
She's
looks
like,
me
"Yeah."
dead in the
Oh
eye.
my
She's like,
God.
shut your fucking pie hole.
Cram it in your cram hole, LaFleur.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misquoted her. It's not piles. She calls it. She's like, "Shut your face hole."
I can't do a Chewbacca roar, but if anybody can, they need to read Project Cambria. You need to read. So read that with the New York accent, and you got to end it with the thing.
All right, I got this.
Black croissant and Snoop.
I'm gonna
black
embarrass the shit out of
licorice
myself
shoes.
right here.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Are you somebody who enjoys completely abrasive candy? Try Black Croissant's new black licorice chews. They.
I like black licorice.
That was classic.
Oh my god.
Who's next? Who's next?
Everything.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what this is.
Sounds like East Side Coruscant to me. Oh, shit.
Oh, bro.
Oh,
Oh, it's really gone
I
off.
am literally in tears.
Oh,
All right, all right. We're calling it.
All right.
We're calling it.
Good, because I can't feel my face.
We're gonna keep this up. I love dude. The chat tonight is the MVP. Oh my god, I love you guys.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. Stop. Ooh.
You can't feel your face. It sounds like you've been to Mon Mothma's Morphine Emporium. Damn it, that's a hard one to say.
You gotta go to Mossman's massage parlor.
Yes.
Oh my
you
God.
can't.
Oh. I'm hurt. I'm
Chat, you took it here.
Oh, chat, you're on fire, dude. I'm sorry, but Holdo's House of Hose is probably my favorite
That
one.
one was
tonight.
good. That was good.
Holdo's
Holdo's
House of Hose.
House.
I'm getting that tattooed.
Oh
he
my
is.
god.
He is actually.
Oh,
man.
fantastic.
Whew.
All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. We love you. Chat, you guys are the MVPs tonight.
Oh hell yeah! Made my night.
For the Star Wars obsession, the Matt Cave and Hawks Holocrons, I am X-Wing. We will see you guys shortly. Stay salty, my friends.